Hello and good morning, Sudoku friends, and welcome to the New York Times Hard Sudoku. Today is March 31st, 2023. Let's dive right in. Where is the first number coming from? Ah, yeah, I see. A 5 blocking up and up, so a 5 must go up here in the corner. And this 1 is blocking here, so a 1 must go here or here. And since this 1 is blocking here, one of these must be a 1, and that will block up here. And we have two 1s blocking across, so a 1 must go in this square here. Two 6s blocking across, it gives me a 6 for this square. So we got an 8 and a 9 here. We need to find an 8 and a 9 for these two squares. And that means that these two squares must be a 2 and a 3. And that would make these a 4 and a 7. And if these are 4s and 7s, then these must be a 3, 5, and an 8. And that's all very fine, but it's not helping much, except it's giving me some background information that I can possibly use later on in the game. For this column 7, we need a 4, 5, 8, and a 9. There's a 4, 5, and a 9 in this row, so the 8 is forced into this cell here. This square can only be a 1 or a 7 because all other digits from 1 through 9 can see this square here. One of these squares must be an 8 because this square is blocked by this 8 and this square is blocked by this 8. This square is very restricted. I believe it must be a 7 because it cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, or 9. So yes, it is a 7. And this cannot be an 8. This cannot be an 8. Therefore, an 8 must go here. We need now only to find a 3 and a 5 for these squares here. There's a 5 blocking over, so this is a 3 and this is a 5. And we know that one of these must be a 3, so that makes this square 3 as well. Now one of these must be a 7. Didn't I say before that this square is restricted? It must be a 1 or a 7. And now that a 7 must go here or here, it cannot be a 7. But let's make sure. It can be a 1, but not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 7, 8 or 9. Yes, it's a 1. That makes this square a 1. We know that this is an 8 or a 9, and this is an 8 or a 9. And that's all we know.
That's all we know.
Got a 2 and a 6 blocking over and a 2 and a 6 blocking down, but sadly it's not quite enough. But listen, we got a 3 over here somewhere because the 3 is blocking. So we need a 3 for one of these squares, and this 3 is blocking up. So a 3 goes here, and that gives us a 3 here. I think that we remember what this is supposed to be. No, we don't. We only know that a 3 had to go in one of these two squares, but we know that these are 2s and 3s, and these, therefore, are 4s and 7. We got a 7 blocking over here, so this is a 7. This cannot be a 9, therefore it must be an 8, and this must be a 9, and this must be an 8. Back to this square. 4 and 7 gives me a 5 for this square. These two must be a 9, which must go here due to the 9 blocking up, and a 4. 9 must go in one of these two squares, and the other two digits for this column is a 4 and a 5. And I'm not seeing that. This is a 4 and a 5 and an 8, though. So the 8 goes here, of course, because these Two squares are blocked by 8s. 4 and 5, 4 and 5. These must be 2 and 9 because we got a 2 and a 9 here and 2 and a 9 here. So these are 2 and 9. So these are both 4 and 5, making these a 6 and a 7. 2 and a 9 here, 4 and a 5 here. So this must be the 4 and this must be the 5. 5 blocking over like so and 5 blocking down gives us a 5 for column 9. These two now must be a 2 and a 6. There's a 6 in the bottom row, so the 2 is forced into this square and the 6 here, and therefore a 6 here and a 7 here and a 7 here. And that gives us a 7 for this square and a 4 for this. These squares here must be an 8 and a 3 and a 2, making these a 4, 5. And there's a 5 here, so this is a 4, this is a 5, this is a 4, this is a 5. 4 blocking down, 4 blocking over, 4 goes here, and therefore here, because we got a couple of 4s blocking down. This must be a 9, making this a 9 and this a 2, as per previous analysis. 2 must go here as well. These 3 must be a 1, 6, and a 7. And across here, we need a 1, 6, and a 3. No. Then across here, in row 8, we need a 2, 6, and a 7. Well, there's a 6 blocking down and there's a 6 blocking down, so a 6 is forced to go here. Therefore, this must be a 7 and this must be a 1, making a 1 out of the corner cell here. These now must be a 3 and a 6. A 6 is blocking down, so the 3 goes here and the 6 here. These two squares must be a 2 and a 7. We got a 7 blocking over, so the 2 goes here and the 7 here. This square therefore must be a 2, making a 2 out of this and a 3 out of this up here. And a 3 also must go here and an 8 here. That gives me an 8 for the bottom row here, and the last digit goes here. It must be a 9. That was a nice quick puzzle today from the New York Times. Thank you for watching and bye for now.